Welcome to another episode of The Drop, the weekly show that lets you know the hottest games coming out across PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. And this week we have RBI Baseball 21 hitting platforms across the board, and on top of that we have the return of a 2005 classic that shambles back onto the scene with Stubbs the Zombie, a name that might be familiar to you old heads. On top of that, we also have a remaster of a 2012 game coming out that looks relatively interesting, so plenty of games to dive into this week. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Play your way in RBI Baseball 21. Create a legacy and make a statement. The world of MLB awaits in RBI Baseball 21. RBI is the fast-paced, easy-to-learn baseball franchise perfect for anyone who wants to pick up and play. And RBI Baseball 21 brings new features including Create a Player, play-by-play commentary, immersive time of day, and incredible visual improvements. Step up to the plate, crush home runs, and take your club to a World Series title in RBI Baseball 21. If you're not familiar with sports games, there are effectively two big baseball franchises that you can turn to when you want that baseball experience in the video game realm. You have MLB The Show, and you have RBI Baseball. Unfortunately for RBI Baseball, Sony San Diego has always crushed it with MLB The Show, but unfortunately for everybody that hasn't been on PlayStation, it has, until 2021, been a PlayStation exclusive. But now, Sony is opening that game up to Xbox players. MLB The Show 21 is going to be launching on Xbox consoles across the world. Of course, that includes old gen and new gen. So, if you're looking for the #1 baseball experience, I would personally direct you towards MLB The Show. That's not to rag on RBI Baseball too much though, because this year's entry does not look half bad itself. It just depends on what route you want to go. Now, if you are playing on Nintendo Switch or PC, this is effectively your most premium option for a baseball experience, and of course, some people just prefer RBI Baseball, and it's also coming out on PlayStation and Xbox as well. But regardless of where you play, if you do want to check out RBI Baseball 21, it's launching later this week. Next up, Stubbs the Zombie and Rebel Without a Pulse is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, and it's out now on PC, where it's existed since 2005. This is not a remaster, this is just a re-release. Think something along the lines of Grim Fandango. Be the zombie, kick ass, and take brains. It's 1959, and the city of Punch Bowl, Pennsylvania is a beacon of progress and ideal living. Show the living that law and order are no match for a dead man on a mission. Your boyfriend's back, Maggie, and Punch Bowl is gonna be in trouble. Eat brains, chomp on the living, and replenish your bodily arsenal of zombie spittoon, gut grenades, and the stunning unholy flatulence. Possess Punch Bowl's population. Clamp your severed hand to a barbershop quartet singer's head and ray gun away. Build your zombie horde. Convert your enemies into undead allies and lead a zombie assault on the living. Bring civilization to its knees. Show the retro-futuristic city of Punch Bowl, Pennsylvania that they cannot escape the past. Stubbs and chill. Invite a friend to play as Grubs for classic couch cooperative hijinks. Friend not included. As I said, this is a 2005 re-release, and people are very excited about this. Personally, it's not one that I ever actually dove into when I was younger, but it seems to have that same kind of destroy all humans vibe. It really brings that kind of chaotic, funny energy to the table. So if you do want to visit for the first time or dive back into Stubbs the Zombie and Rebel Without a Pulse, it's coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Finally, to round out our main releases, we have In Rays of the Light coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. There is only you, the abandoned remains of a former life, and the flourishing nature that feels great in the absence of man. This world is both gloomy and empty, but so incredibly beautiful. In Rays of the Light is an atmospheric author's parable about our place in this world, life, and death. Explore a mysterious territory filled with a variety of details that reveal the story. Solve logic puzzles and study text messages along the way. This is a first-person meditative quest with a metaphorical, philosophical story revealed in the study of details and surroundings. It has beautiful visuals and a melodic soundtrack composed by Dmitry Nikolaev, with 2 endings that await you in this remake of 2012's The Light. If I had to describe what this game feels like for me, it's like Escape from Tarkov mixed with Gone Home. What a weird description, but that's kind of the best way I can describe it from the gameplay that I have seen. You're just kind of wandering around and building stories based on the details that you find. I'm sure it's going to feel very eerie, and it's also going to be a story with a lot of depth to it, but as I said, this is a remake of a game called The Light from 2012. So if you already played that, that is exactly what you are going to be getting with this game when it launches this week across all platforms. But hey, if you do want to dive in, it sounds like it could be a very interesting time. And finally, before we go, we have a couple of honorable mentions. First off, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, and on top of that, The Outer Worlds Murder on Eridanos DLC is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, if you do want to dive back in. That rounds out this week's episode of The Drop. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below, and let me know what you think about the games coming out this week. Did anything catch your eye? And specifically, when it comes to MLB The Show or RBI Baseball 21, which is your go-to game? Would love to hear what you are picking up this year if you are a sports fan. But until next time, you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.